the mystery of ancient coins. Coins have always been treated as simple objects of exchange, metal pieces that pass from hand to hand for centuries and that, at first glance, carry only numerical values, rulers' names, and seemingly ornamental symbols. But when we look deeper, when we realize that every scratch, every mark of wear, and every image stamped on an ancient coin is actually a fragment of a larger story, we understand that we're standing before a kind of time capsule. A capsule that doesn't just record economics, but politics, religion, power, science, wars, human migrations, and even the fears and dreams of civilizations that disappeared long ago. When we look at an ancient coin, we're not looking at metal. We're looking directly into the mind of whoever created it. Imagine holding between your fingers a coin from nearly 3,000 years ago. Before you, it passed through bustling street markets, through the callous hands of soldiers, through merchants who traveled miles carrying spices, fabrics, animals, metals, and stories. Someone once received it as payment for a boat, for land, for an animal, for food. Another person might have kept it as a status symbol. Yet another might have lost it on a road, where it lay buried for centuries, waiting to be found. And when it finally resurfaces, it reveals a secret about the exact moment it was minted, a secret about humanity. The history of coins begins long before written history, as we know it today. Before banknotes, banks, cards, or digital transactions existed, humans exchanged objects of direct value: gold, silver, salt, shells, grain, animals. But these exchanges were unstable, imprecise, subjective. Every negotiation depended on trust between parties. Then, around the 7th century BC, something extraordinary happened in Lydia, a region located in what is now Turkey. A ruler decided to melt natural alloys of gold and silver called electrum and transform them into standardized pieces, marked with symbol of authority. The world gained its first officially minted coins, and in them was the first secret revealed. Coins were born as instruments of power before anything else. The mark stamped on those first coins didn't just represent who produced them. It represented who was in charge, who guaranteed the value, who controlled the local economy, trade, taxes, people's lives. From the beginning, coins weren't just economic objects. They were political weapons. Lydia perhaps couldn't imagine it, but it was inaugurating a model that would repeat itself for millennia. Take any ancient coin from any empire, and you'll always see the same dynamic. The ruler appears prominently glorified, idealized. There are no coins with old, tired, frail kings. There are no coins with indecisive or failed emperors. Coins were like political advertisements circulating from hand to hand. And over time, the silent propaganda influenced how entire populations viewed their leaders. They were literally in people's hands daily. A Roman emperor like Augustus, for example, used coins to rewrite his own history. He appeared as a hero, a savior, an almost divine man. The truth of the facts didn't matter as much as the image stamped on the metal. And here emerges another secret revealed by ancient coins. They show not only who ruled, but who wanted to appear to rule with legitimacy. Many usurpers, generals, and makeshift kings used coins as a way to try to validate their own power. This means that monetary archaeology can reveal coups d'état, internal disputes, and invisible crises that the official texts of the time tried to hide. But the most fascinating thing is that coins don't just speak of power, they speak of fear. Take, for example, Roman coins issued during periods of crisis. When the empire faced catastrophes, civil wars, invasions, or food shortages, coins appear with symbols of abundance, victory, security, prosperity. It was as if the government were desperately trying to convince the people that everything was under control. Other coins showed images of protective deities, trying to convey hope in times of uncertainty. Propaganda is an ancient technique, and coins were one of its first vehicles. Furthermore, coins reveal something essential about civilization's economic mentality. For instance, there's a rule that repeats throughout history. When an empire begins mixing cheaper metals into coins, reducing their purity, it's a sign that it's heading toward collapse. It's a phenomenon called debasement, and it appears in practically every ancient empire. When Rome began losing territory and wealth, the denarius, its main currency, went from pure silver to a coin with almost no silver at all. This tells more about the empire's fall than many books. And it's not just Rome. Greece, ancient China, the Byzantine Empire, African kingdoms, pre-Columbian civilizations, all went through similar processes. When the metal was adulterated, it was as if the state itself was admitting weakness. And when people noticed confidence collapsed, ancient coins are, therefore, silent detectors of economic crises that weren't always officially recorded. But there are positive stories, too. Some coins reveal moments of great prosperity, cultural advances, and even scientific innovation. Greek coins, for example, are miniature works of art. Their engravers master impressive precision techniques. On a single coin, it was possible to depict gods, philosophers, animals, mythological scenes, and even human anatomy with a level of detail that defies comprehension. These coins were so beautiful they were used as cultural propaganda, making the world see the Greeks as a sophisticated and superior civilization. In ancient China, coins shaped like knives or spades reveal economic systems completely different from the West. They show complex trade networks, advanced cities' philosophical influences, and profound dynastic changes. Chinese coins reveal a history of continuity and rupture, of cycles that lasted millennia. And each dynasty left its mark not only in books, but in metal. And then we arrive at another surprising revelation. Coins show how trade connected the world before modern globalization. Imagine finding Roman coins in Japan, or Chinese coins in African ports, or Arab coins in the interior of Europe. This means that long before airplanes or the internet existed, the world was already interconnected. Merchants traveled thousands of miles in caravans, ships, dangerous sea routes. And every coin found far from its place of origin is testimony to a human journey that may have been forgotten, but that left its metallic trace. Another secret of ancient coins lies in what they don't show. In certain eras, kings and emperors deliberately removed traditional symbols and added others, trying to erase memories or impose new ideologies. When this happens, the changes in the metal say more than any text from the period. A coin that replaces one god with another may indicate a profound religious change. A coin that removes a ruler's face may indicate betrayal, a coup, exile. A coin without precious metals may show scarcity. A coin that's too large may indicate a desperate attempt to stimulate the economy. Every detail matters. And then we arrive at the most fascinating point. Ancient coins reveal how humanity perceives value. What makes something valuable? The metal? The image? The political power behind it? Trust? Social acceptance? All these answers are hidden in coins. When societies place their value in metal, they reveal a pragmatic vision. When they place it in the ruler, they show devotion. When they place it in mandatory circulation, they show authoritarianism. When they place it in mutual trust, they show economic maturity. Coins are mirrors of the collective soul. And there's still one last secret. Coins reveal not just the past, but also the future. Because by understanding how ancient civilizations value their coins, we recognize patterns that continue repeating today. We realize that humans haven't changed that much. We continue trusting in symbols, in promises and authorities, in fragile economic systems. We continue living cycles of rise, prosperity, bubbles, falls, and reconstructions. Every ancient coin is a reminder that every civilization, no matter how powerful, is always one step away from repeating the mistakes of the past. In the end, coins don't just tell the story of economics. They tell the story of humanity. They reveal our fears, our desires, our illusions, our ambition, and our infinite capacity to build and destroy. They reveal how we see wealth, power, order, chaos. They reveal what we keep, what we value, what we try to hide, and what we try to make eternal. Every ancient coin is more than metal. It's a message left by people who lived, dreamed, and disappeared, but who still speak to us through time. And when we listen to these messages, we understand not just who they were, but who we are